If you're bidding on a DC government contract, you need to know exactly what insurance they require. Let's search DC government contract insurance requirements. This first result, the Office of Risk Management. This is the official source, not the agency, not the contracting officer. ORM sets the minimums for every DC contract. Right here on the ORM page, 3 documents. Minimum insurance standards for contracts. Minimum insurance standards for project-related grants. And special events. These 3 PDFs are your source of truth. Now I'm clicking into the contracts matrix. This is the document every contracting officer references when they write insurance requirements into a solicitation. Here's the full sheet. This covers every contract type DC issues: construction, consulting, IT, health, staffing, all of them. At the top, minimum insurance requirements for contractors. This is the official title of the document. General liability. This is the baseline. 1 million each occurrence, 2 million aggregate. Every single DC contract requires at least this. Now I'm scrolling down through the different contract types to get to consulting. Construction has its own set, health has its own set, but consulting is where most professional services firms fall. Here's consulting related contracts. This is what IT consultants, training providers, and management firms need to carry. 1 million each occurrence, 2 million aggregate. Same baseline as every other contract type for general liability, and right below that, professional liability, errors and omissions. If you're providing consulting services, you need this. Now I'm scrolling up to health related contracts. This is where the requirements get significantly heavier. Look at the umbrella. 10 million. That's a big jump from the 2 million on consulting contracts. If you're doing any health related work, youth services, behavioral health, the umbrella alone is 5 times higher. And cyber liability at 5 million each occurrence. Compare that to 1 million on a consulting contract. Health contracts require serious coverage. Now I'm going back to the ORM page because grants have completely separate requirements from contracts. A lot of people don't know that. Here's the grants matrix. Scrolling down to health on grants. The umbrella here is 2 million each occurrence, not 10 like on contracts. And cyber is still 5 million. So grants and contracts can have very different insurance requirements for the same type of work. And pay attention to the fine print at the bottom of the grants matrix. These footnotes tell you when certain coverages apply and when they don't. This is the part most people skip, and it comes back to bite them. Now let me show you what this looks like inside an actual solicitation. This is a DYRS solicitation from Ariba. I'm going through the glossary to the letter I, because that's where you find the insurance section. Here it is. Insurance general requirements. Every solicitation spells out exactly what coverages and limits that specific contract requires. Commercial general liability with the specific limits for this contract. Automobile liability insurance. Workers' compensation. Professional liability insurance. And commercial umbrella. So that's 5 coverages this particular contract requires. You take these exact limits and give them to your insurance broker. Now, this is what a certificate of liability insurance looks like. This is the document your broker generates for you. Certificate of liability insurance right at the top. Producer. That's your insurance broker's information, their name and contact. Insured. This is your company name. Make sure it matches your legal business name exactly. If your LLC filing says one thing and your certificate says something different, it gets rejected. Commercial general liability section with the limits right here. Going down the line, automobile liability, umbrella liability. Each one shows the limits that match what the solicitation required. Workers' compensation with the limits. Certificate holder. This is critical. It has to read District of Columbia with the correct agency address. Get this wrong, and the certificate gets sent back. Description of operations, locations, vehicles. This section references the specific contract number and scope of work. Now, back on the ORM page, where do you actually send your certificate of insurance? Right here. You send it directly to your contracting officer. There is no upload portal. You email it to the contracting officer assigned to your contract. And here are the common questions. When is it due? What happens if your coverage changes? What if your policy gets canceled? The key one, you have to submit within 10 days of contract execution and give 30 days notice if anything changes. And that's it. The full written guides for every document, including insurance, clean hands, good standing, W-9, and more, are right here on DuoGov. Each one has a video walkthrough just like this.